So I went and prayed with my pastor, and my wife and I did. And when we got home that night after that prayer time with our pastor, there was a message on the answering machine.
Oh, man.
Saying,
the same night.
The same night.
Gosh.
Saying, we accept this proposal. And on the fax machine, he had faxed a signed signature. So I'm like, this was real.
Yeah.
This was real.
This is happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had to go quit my job. If I wanted to do this, this was it.
Right.
Within 2 weeks, quit.
You're living your dreams.
I'm living my dream, and I haven't stopped ever since, man. It's just been boom, 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 project after project after project after project. It's crazy.
Man, it's obviously something that God has driven.
Oh,
right?
yeah. And here's the cool thing, Mike.
What?
I've not done one bit of advertising. Not one. It's all been word of mouth.
It's amazing.
I mean, how'd you meet me?
Word of mouth, man.
All right.
Carl, thank you so much,
Man,
man,
you're
for
welcome.
sharing your story. I think it's going to give people a real taste of what it can look like to see your vision develop over time.
And Mike, I can't tell people enough. I mean, if they're feeling the urge at all like I felt,
right?
I mean, grab on to God's faith. I mean, just hold on with both hands. Do not look back. I mean, it's incredible. God wants you to succeed. God wants you to live your dream.
Yeah. It just requires, Carl, I think, a little bit of risk.
Risk and faith.
You know, I'm glad that you're here with us in on this conversation, because what we're seeing is a little different level of what it really takes to live your dreams. At the end of the day, you've got to engage risk. You're at the edge of a cliff. On the bottom of the floor there is your dream, it's your vision, it's what God's called you to. But in order to get there, you've got to jump. I mean, you've got to take that leap of faith. And it's only when you take that leap of faith that you can trust God with the outcomes. Your only job is to just do what He's called you to do. Listen, I'm going to come back in just a minute and give you some real practical things that you can do, that you can implement in your own life to live your dreams. And before you know it, you're going to be living the life you've always wanted. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I made some new friends at the marina here. Actually, fitting enough, the guy who owns this boat actually runs cruises on the river. He's doing what he loves to do. So it's encouragement for all of us that there's people all over who are living their dreams. Now, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready to know how you can live your dreams, because I'm going to give you some information that you can actually execute on. This is going to be very practical things. First thing I want you to do is run and get a pencil and a piece of paper, okay? I want you to write some things down, because the first thing I'm going to ask you to do if you want to live your dreams is do what I call a historical review. Now that's psychobabble, I understand that, and what that means is I want you to look over the course of your life and figure out, man, what are my peak moments in life? When I look back over my life, when did I really feel alive? So start now, go all the way back into childhood and see if you can identify these experiences that you had, these activities that you engaged in, and maybe people that you were hanging around that made you feel like, man, I'm living. Because that's the first clue to living your dream. If we look at the people we talked to today, look at Jim Brickman. What did he love doing as a kid? He loved music. Look at Carl, the video producer. He loved just having a camera in his hand and using media to move people. What are your peak experiences? Maybe it was the day you graduated from high school. It might have been the day you held your first baby in your arms. Maybe it was the first promotion you got at work, or the day you first rode a bike. It really doesn't matter, guys. You just want to create a timeline where you can say, these are the moments in my life when I was living. And then you want to look for themes in those peak moments. What do those peak moments reveal about your value system, about what drives you? What are you passionate about? What makes your blood boil? What makes you feel alive? What's most important in life for you? Once you can answer those questions, you're in a great position to live your dream. Let me tell you how that's played out for me a couple times with coaching clients. I was coaching a guy one time, really not happy in his job. He was an accountant, going in, punching the clock 9 to 5, and I worked with him to do one of these historical reviews. Over and over and over again, he talked about athletics. He said, Mike, when we won the big state championship game in basketball, that was living. The first day I beat my dad in racquetball, I about had a fit. That was a great day. And so we started to recognize that sports and athletics were huge in his life. he ended up pursuing a degree in athletic training. Now he's an athletic trainer at a school over in Orlando, one of the biggest schools in the state of Florida. This guy identified his passions. He identified what made his blood boil. He's not a professional athlete, but he's involved in athletics. He's living his dream. Another lady I can think of, she told me, Mike, look, when I look at my life, what I remember as the peak moments are the times when I was leading groups, like leading Bible studies in the college ministry, leading Bible study with my husband, a small group at church. So we developed a plan. She kept her job. She was in the hospitality industry. But what she started to do was get involved in leading other people. Now she leads a women's ministry at her church. She's living her dream. So I don't want you to think that you're necessarily going to have to change vocations. You're just going to have to find ways that you can let these things that are inside you bubble out. All right, so if you want to live your dreams, the first thing you have to do is this historical review. You've got to understand what your peak moments are in life. Second thing you've got to do is recognize the themes. What do those peak moments demonstrate about your passions? Third thing you've got to do is you've got to create a personal mission statement. Now, I know this sounds weird, but you've got to encapsulate your vision and your passion in one sentence. Carl did this, the guy we talked to earlier in the program. His mission statement was to move people through media. Simple, very simple. And he makes sure that everything he does is consistent with that mission. Now, here's the reason that's important. As you create a mission statement and you get very specific, you're actually helping yourself move towards a goal. Because goals are things that are very specific. The research shows that people that move towards goals are much more successful, happy, and satisfied than people that move away from things that they don't like. So you've got to get your goals down, you got to get them short and concise, you've got to create a personal mission statement. Now, the fourth thing you've got to do is a little bit more complicated because you've got to create what I call a personal manifesto. That's a big word that describes a process where you look at your mission and try to conceptualize what your life would look like if you were living your mission. What would your life look like if your mission was being played out within the context of your everyday being? Now, Carl, his mission statement was to move people through media. It's one thing to say that, it's another thing to figure out how to do that. Carl had to step back and say, okay, what do I want my production company to look like? Do I want to do commercials? Do I want to do television? Maybe I want to cut movies one day. He had to say, here's my mission, here's what it's going to look like when I play it out in real life. That's a personal manifesto, and that's what you've got to do if you're going to live your dreams. And finally, the last thing you've got to do if you're going to live your dream is surround yourself with people that will support you and support your personal manifesto. Listen, you're never going to change if you're surrounded by naysayers. You've got to find hope in relationships, and it's only when you build a support network that will actually encourage your dreams that you'll make any progress. Our website will help you do that. Remember, myrealityonline.com has a community of people waiting to work towards common goals and dreams with you. They're waiting to help you live your dreams. Listen, God has called you to make some changes. He's called you to live your dreams. He's called you to live, not just exist. My question to you is, are you ready? Are you ready to do what's necessary to one day be living the life you've always wanted?
For more information about the topic covered on today's show, please visit our website at myrealityonline.com. There you'll find an interactive community designed to help you create new dreams for your life and connect with others who will help you live the life you've always wanted. We'll also be streaming our interactive call-in radio show on My Reality Online this week. Listen in to ask questions about the topic covered on today's show and to find more information and resources about how you can change your reality.